Hell yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
That's a bop, as my kids say.
Yeah, it's got the Riz.
It's got the Riz. I still don't know what that really means, but my teenage daughter tells me consistently that I have no Riz, and I tell her, like, I've got all the Riz.
A Riz apparently is slang for charisma.
Oh, apparently I don't have any of that then. But I was like,
I believe you do. So
you're not my daughter. You're wrong. If you watch this, you're wrong.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home right now on your little cell phone and you stumble across For Exposure on YouTube that your dad is on, you wrong.
Little Pluggo, you're wrong. What's up now?
She'd fight you. She's feisty.
Oh, I don't want trouble.
She'd be like, you hang out with it. So, fun fact, if we're gonna go down that little rabbit hole, when I first started doing like podcasts and stuff, I used to listen to the one and only Warren Hayes in the car ride home, and I was telling my daughter and my son at one point, I was like, "Yeah, I was on a show with this guy. Like, that's kind of crazy." And she's like, "All you guys do is talk about cereal." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "All these wrestling podcasts, Dad. All you talk about cereal." And I said, "What do you mean?" She because of the ad reads. They would be like Magic Spoon or whatever, or some like they would be like cereal ad reads. And she's like, "Oh, that's like that's not what wrestling podcasts are. That's how you pay the bills for wrestling podcasts. So if any of your cereal wants to sponsor us."
Oh,
but yeah, so she didn't understand it at the time. Now she just thinks I have no Riz because I do wrestling podcasts.
Yeah, I think the percentage of wrestling content creators with Riz is very low, and it's one of those things. But yeah, we have Riz.
We've got all the Riz.
I'm
gonna clip this and send it to her. She's just gonna roll all the
Riz
because she's at cheer practice right now. So
yes,
she's probably going to be like, "Dad, you are the lamest guy in the world." But anyway, cereal. Speaking of cereal, I had some delicious cereal this morning. We were talking about it off air.
Yeah,
I have my Halloween edition blueberry. It's delicious.
You got a lot left or what? What are we looking at? You running out?
I got about half a box. Hey, better things about pro wrestling this month.
Hey, it's Omar.
Omar, what's good, brother? What's good, my guys? It's Omar from the Podcast Shorts account. Had to upload a video today, hence new account. Oh, right on. Well, I will make sure I follow new account. Get subscribed to Omar. Omar rules.
Yeah, Omar does some great stuff. He's got some great articles out there too, so definitely check it out.
He's got lots of Riz. That Omar's
got Riz. Omar's got Riz.
This is going to be a very Riz-tastic episode.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Exposure.
We're Rizzing everywhere here.
Oh my goodness. So how are you, Blair? What's new? What's exciting?
I'm good.
We're in our normal time slot for the first time in a couple weeks.
It feels like it's been a while since we've done it at this time.
I know.
But it's only been a couple weeks, but we're back. Next week, change of plans again. We'll give the details at the end of the show for that. But
just know next week, fans, is the LPW preview show. So that we're just going to figure out what time that's going to be, and then that's going to be the show with our buddy Big Bad Boris, that stud.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. You're going to like it. We're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a great time.
And speaking of which, we got the distinct honor of having the Grand Poobah, the boss himself, Spenny Love, on Beards on Thursday, unannounced, just showed up. He was making pasta sauce, which is not the headline there. You believe it or not, the headline there was he gave us the exclusive opportunity to announce the latest LPW match, and it's going to be Travis Williams versus T.Y. Jackson for your LPW Challenge Championship. What a banger.
That's a big match, a big opportunity for TY.
Yeah.
Big first defense for Travis, and Travis is looking yoked. Like, dude is jacked up right now. So, I mean,
he's
that's going to be a little bit of a doozy. I think that's going to be a little bit of a fun match. Travis is on a high. TY is going to be looking for to get that gold that has been kind of elusive for the past little bit. So
he hasn't been able to get his hands on it. No. This might be the first LPW show. None of the Rads are wrestling in a tag team. They're all wrestling for singles gold.
Yeah.
Or Mrs. Pluggo, good morning. She has risen. She is awake. She was definitely asleep when I walked down here. So good morning, honey.
Good morning.
How are you?
Enjoy some cereal.
She partied hard last night. She went out with some friends, and rightfully so. She deserves it. She works very, very hard.
Yeah, go live it up.
She puts up with me. So I mean, going out and having a couple of drinks with your girlfriends is probably the least that we can do for her.
Sneaking a bite of cereal there. Sorry.
That's fine. So yeah, I was thinking like the Rads. This might be the first time we've ever seen them all singles competitors. No Ben Omen. Rich is challenging for the scramble. TY's going for the challenge, and of course Larry Woods is our grand championship, and he's facing off against the one, the only MRB. Interesting time in Radsville. I wonder how they're all doing. I am concerned about Rich especially, but I'll let you.
Yeah. I hope he's doing okay.
He picked the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, for his Rad team of the week this week. And like I said on Beards, we need to do whatever we can to get Ben Omen back so Rich can get right, because I can't have my expert NFL analyst picking. She has to know what cereal you're eating, Blair. She knows what cereal I'm eating because I left it on the counter.
Captain Crunch peanut butter, which I'm going to drink the rest of my milk with a little bit of cereal. So I'm just going to mute myself while Pluggo talks. So
yeah, I left my box on the counter because I'm a bum. I realized that as I walk downstairs. Like I was saying, Rich King, we love him. He's disheveled. He wasn't himself. He's picking the Panthers. In no world do you ever pick the Panthers as your Rad team of the week. Even when the Panthers are good, they're not Rad. So we got to do something. We got to figure this out. But maybe, just maybe, at LPW 21, all gold everything will cure all the ills. They'll all have gold. Maybe that'll be the power swing. Maybe they'll say, hey, we hold all of your championships outside of the tag titles here at LPW. We want our manager back.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, hey, you have that ace in your back pocket, and you can start making demands when you're drinking all the gold. So
Spencer said the decision is now ultimately out of his hands. As I learned that there's a commission in Alberta, and to be a manager, you have to get a license. I didn't know you had to be able to have a license to just manage.
You thought we were joking a few weeks ago when we were talking about that.
Yeah, not joking. I thought it was okay. I thought it was in kayfabe.
You thought we were joking.
You never joke. I knew about wrestling licenses because I see, independent wrestlers say, hey, I just got my license in this state down here. I just got my license in this state. I didn't think like a manager needed one, but I guess since there's stated, since there's a potential for contact, yada, 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 that you have to have some form of a license. And we should do a cereal draft. I got dibs on Fruity Pebbles.
You can have Fruity Pebbles.
She ain't throwing elbows, though.
You not right Fruity Pebbles.
You don't like Fruity Pebbles?
Not a chance.
Wow. Hot take alert. Yeah. What do you got against Fruity Pebbles?
They're not good.
What? Blair. Do you like any fruity cereal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What? You're gonna name some Canadian delicacy that I've never heard of, aren't you?
I mean, okay, the Blair top cereal ranking. Like if I was
go ahead, yep.
Frosted Flakes. Have a big bowl of that with just a little bit of milk. Great. Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops.
Okay, as your top 3,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is in there.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good. Frosted Flakes is your number 1.
Cinnamon mini buns when they used to do cereal. Apple Jacks.
We have to buy the big pillow bag of Fruity Pebbles at Casa del Pluggo because it goes so quick.
I'm envisioning Mrs. Pluggo with 2 bags of the giant Fruity Pebbles cereal, like the Steve Austin chugging 2 beers.
Yeah,
and it's just Fruity Pebbles.
She's coming after you this morning. She's feisty today. Lucky Charms are gross. It's glued sand.
We will have this discussion at Thanksgiving next year. So
yeah, that's right. If you guys watched last week, Blair, Mike, and Lawrence are coming over for American Thanksgiving in 2024. Be ready. Just we watched along with some GCW last week. That was fun. It was a good time.
It was. Both those GCW shows were solid.
Yeah. But back to the cereal.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
For Exposure, where we talk about the independent world of cereal.
And how, as I get older, I realize the marshmallows aren't that great.
It's a nice blast of sugar in the morning.
Yeah, it helps with your... But yeah, GCW ran 2 shows last weekend. Mm-hmm. No shows this weekend.
No, but they're going to be coming in hot the next couple.
But JCW is running a show.
Yeah, we'll chat about that.
I just thought that they usually kind of try to run those together, but hey,
unless I'm missing a GCW show, but like when I was looking at the,
plus there's just an absolute loaded card tonight. We just skipped over.
Yeah, and we're not talking about it at all. It's possible.
No.
Last weekend we saw new tag champs though. Yeah,
we did. Our boys, Violence is Forever. About time. Because I remember, on the Wayback Machine, we were sitting here saying how cool it was that Violence Forever was even in GCW, and what we'd love to see them go on a little bit of a run here and maybe get those tag team championships. And here we are. We predicted the future.
Well, I remember it must have been about a year and a bit ago. Like they had about 6 different sets of tag team gold from different independents. Like they were just racking up the wins. Yep. They've both done some singles work, but they've always been known as a team. Mm-hmm. And to see that victory this past week, I'm excited for what the future holds with them and possible matchups in GCW because there's a lot there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is good. Maybe that's part of the reason they started dropping some of those belts was that the GCW focus will take more of a precedent, which is fine. I'm here for it. Let's go. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Violence is Forever. Tag team champions forever.
Well, they announced a matchup for them coming up at the Seattle show. So that's next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be Violence is Forever versus the Bollywood Boys.
Yes, who got absolutely squashed on Dynamite.
Yes, they did. Unfortunately.
Poor guys. They got a huge pop.
Oh, yeah. They were over. And then...
No offense. Done in like 30 seconds. I was like, come on. Give them a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I digress.
So you got that. I mean, it's a bit of a tidbit, but you'll get it now because why not? But AIW, I think it was, announced Dominic Greeny versus Kenta for an upcoming show.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard-hitting match. Oh, it's an 8th Christmas tree.
Oh, it's the 8th Christmas tree. Thank you, Mrs. Pluggo. That plays really well on camera there. I just saw it off the side. Anyway.
Hot cup of mud, brother?
No, this is sparkling water.
Oh.
I had a cup of water. We got Lawrence in the house. I don't know, what is he saying there?
Buongiorno, Principas.
Buongiorno. I don't speak Canadian.
Yeah. So.
But Lawrence is coming over next year for American Thanksgiving. He was part of our GCW watch along last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah, we did that watch along, and I had to go back to watch 2 of the matches the next day just because after our stream I was bagged. But I did rewatch the Jacob Fatu and Joey Janela match.
Yeah,
and that was solid. That moonsault that Fatu did to the chair. Oh, I don't know how he's not hurt after that.
Maybe he is. He's just not. He is. He's just
right in the stomach.
Ugh.
So. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this only because it's GCW related.
Okay.
And it'll transition into MLW, which we talked about as well. But they announced for an upcoming show, it's going to be Pero and Charles Mason versus Richard Holiday and Alex Hammerstone.
Interesting. 2/3 of the dynasty.
Yes, because if you have missed it, Hammerstone asked for his release from MLW. There's some stuff going on there, so
yeah,
I want to see him in a GCW ring because that's not something I ever thought I'd see.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Another some more muscle. They don't tend to have a lot of those just dudes that look like Hammerstone, so that'd be a good change of pace.
It could work.
It could work. Yeah,
that's something different.
And him and Holiday could be a fun little tag team if they want to keep doing that. They've done it before, so let's do it again. Do it up again, Blair. Do it up again.
They have the chemistry, so why not run with it? It adds another team to the dynamic as well, so go for it. Hammerstone asked for his release. Arez and Aramis, they asked for their releases from MLW.
What's going on over there?
I don't know.
Everybody's just like, I'm out. I want out.
So they weren't being used. So
I'm probably sick of Alex Kane suplexing a baby. Boomaye.
Hell yeah. So
I would imagine that's not it, but
no, but it's, it'll be, I'm excited to see Arez back doing more indies because he's fun to watch.
And I was just looking at something and it just rolled across my screen. Shout out to our boy Big Ben Ortman's tonight's Crossbody Pro versus IWS show. Mm-hmm. The recordings are for that. The tapings for that usually drops on Wednesday nights on YouTube. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to see. I think my boy Puff's going to be there. Yeah. K-Puff. Yep, K-Puff's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that. Carney Court is going to be the demise of MLW. I almost said LPW out of just. Do you think we have a Carney Court in LPW?
No, we don't.
No.
I always find MLW interesting because they seem to have issues with relationships with talent, I'll say.
Yeah.
Because I think the same thing happened with Team Filthy the last go round. Tom Lawler's back in MLW, but with Violence is Forever, I think there's the same thing. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah, there's always murmurs of just people unhappy there. I'm not sure if it's a pay thing or if it's just how they're treated. I don't know. I'd have to call up Court Bauer and ask him.
Yeah, so it's like the AEW of the independents. Everyone's unhappy. And
everyone's always oh no. Maybe Tony Khan runs that too.
You never know. The con man runs all, so
yeah, he does. Yes, he does. But I was gonna say from last week's GCW card, another match it's the Santana Jackson versus Mike Bailey.
That was fun.
That was so much fun. And Mike Bailey lost, and I don't know if I've talked about, maybe I haven't, I'm just regurgitating it, but that guy takes losses in spots that he could probably say, no, I don't want to take that loss there. He always is putting everybody over, and you gotta love it. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just a fun match, in the middle of the Thriller dance was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not like NWA. NWA batting 1,000. Now listen, according to the rumor mill on the NWA, Lawrence, they still got 2 deals in the can. Apparently. But we'll see if that comes to fruition or they're going to do another skiing spot on Power before the deal is supposed to be signed. As my good buddy Kyle Davis, who's friend of Beards, tweeted out patience under a report that there's still TV deals in the works. I don't know if obviously it won't be with the CW, but who knows? Maybe they'll end up on TV either way.
Maybe it'll be a CW affiliate, just like OVW is on 40 different podcast partners, but it's CBS San Dimas.
CBS 4, your afternoon. So. I remember that with ROH when it was on syndication, and it would sometimes come on at the weirdest times. It'd either be midnight or it'd be 1 in the afternoon on a Sunday when there was no NFL game or something.
You get home from the bar and be watching, Matt Taven versus Dalton Castle at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Or you're waking up in the morning, it's on at 9:30. You're like, what is this? Where's my CBS that Sunday morning? Next week, Black Tar Heroin, baby.
Sinister Minister's getting over.
Dude, yeah, man. We had talked about it. We had talked about it on Thursday, just not to go down the NWA rabbit hole, but like coming out of a pay-per-view where there was a lot of cool talent on it. That's all people talk about.
Yeah.
That was it. Nothing else happened on that show. But hey, Matt Taven and a heroin on a pole match. Let's go.
Wow, that escalated.
Next up on CBS San Andreas.
But that, like, I don't understand, like, what NWA is doing with that. You know, like, you have to think, like, you just announced that you have a television deal. You are in the public eye more than anything because you are no longer on just YouTube or Fight Plus, whatever it was that they're on. And you decide to air that. Like, come on,
man.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. Speaking of what are we doing here, if you're in the chat, thank you for hanging. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a follow. We're trying to get those likes up. I'm trying to get some like goals hit, you know, here over at Love Wrestling. So do that. If you also want to go over to our Patreon, Love Wrestling CA on Patreon. We have exclusive interviews. I've got one up right now with Taryn from Accounting, my absolute favorite wrestler in the world. Mm-hmm. And JPJ will have one up soon with MRB ahead of LPW 21. Those will be exclusive to the Patreon. So go over there and check it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was a solid plug.
Dude, that's how I do it. They didn't call me Pluggo for nothing.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we got quite a bit of shows that we want. What do we want to do? You got tidbits. You want to preview shows. What do you want to do, Blair? How you feeling?
We could do some tidbits first, and then we'll
tiddo bitties. Are you gonna take your shirt off for these?
No, I am not.
Aw, I can't believe that's a brunch exclusive thing.
It is a brunch exclusive.
So tune in tomorrow. Blair will take his shirt off.
This is exactly what I'm talking about with NWA. Like, just assume that if you're...
It's the old saying, radio talk, as the mic is always hot, you have to assume your TV partner's watching at all times. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and plus, in this day and age with social media, like, if all it takes is one person to post a clip or a picture, and then you're up Schitt's Creek with no paddle.
My thing is, I would check with potential buyers and say, hey, we want to run this spot on a pay-per-view. It's not our weekly television spot. What do you think about this? And if they're like, absolutely not, then you just don't do it. If they're down with it, then you're good to go. No harm, no foul. But see, if I'm not mistaken, the CW is, is basic cable national. It's everybody's got the CW, right? Or whatever. So they're not gonna, this isn't cable.
It's in more homes than the USA Network. So
yeah, you're not gonna, they don't do Coke spots on, NBC.
No, they're not doing that on Friends. So.
Yeah, they don't do Coke on Friends.
They do NDMA. Come on.
Friends. Jeez, what a reference. Yeah, this isn't like it's like, TNT. You could do it on TNT or something. I don't know.
That shows how much basic cable I watch. That if I'm thinking of a show on NBC, oh yeah, Friends. Because I don't know nothing else that's on there.
Yeah, I don't. You don't watch Peacock? You don't have Peacock?
No. I will say though, NWA for their most recent tapings, Taylor Rising was there.
Yes.
Mo Jabari was there. Both former, current. They've been on LPW shows before. So
I'll be excited to see that. See their matches when they drop.
I'll check that out. But I got some tidbits. December 3rd, GCW show. They announced one of my favorite wrestlers, Little Guido, is going to be there.
Ooh, are we going?
It's in New York, so probably not.
No, we're not making the trip.
No, but I am so jacked up to see Little Guido again on TV. Like, I love Little Guido. I think it's incredible.
I don't think you've smiled this big since your wedding day.
I think I smiled this big when I met Ultimo Dragon. Maybe because I had a big grin on my face. But probably since wedding. Yeah.
Mrs. Pacheco's like, he didn't even smile this big then.
Maybe.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Billy Starks is on there facing off with Unagi Sayaka, Rina Yamashita versus Tony Deppen. So I'm sure we'll talk more about that when it gets closer to. I mentioned the Kenta versus Dominic Garrini match. What else do we got here? Okay, here we go. Mayu Yamashita is facing off against Masha Slamovich at the Tokyo Joshi Pro Show on January 4th at Corkin Hall, which is the afternoon show of Wrestle Kingdom. So just something to watch for.
Nice.
Paul Walter Hauser is going to be making his wrestling debut at a Pro Wrestling Revolver show this upcoming week with the Ronda Rousey show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's this week?
That is apparently. So we might have to talk about that too, because that's a stacked up card.
Ronda Rousey. I know we have it. I know we talked about it a little bit last week on our watch along with Mike and Lawrence, but what a wild time. I didn't have Ronda Rousey in my independent wrestling on my bingo card in 2023, but I'm here for it. I'm interested. I'm super intrigued. I actually was, and I know that we kind of we poke fun at Ronda and we take our shots because the run wasn't great, but I always was pro Ronda Rousey being in the WWE and being part of it. Her first run I thought was really well. I thought it went really well. I know people shit all over it, but I know the second run was a little like it looked like her heart wasn't quite in it or whatever it may be, whatever the case may be. But hey, I'm going to watch that and I'm going to be just in awe of what happens, regardless if it's good or bad.
Yeah, like with Ronda, it's maybe something like this where, okay, she's going to be working with Marina. So, I mean, right then and there, it's one of her friends. It's not working with the bright lights of New York. So maybe something like this, she'll be much more into it. There's more freedom doing it. So
maybe. Yeah, that's what I said. Either way, good or bad, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna keep an open mind. And I mean, if Ronda Rousey wants to make an indie run, is that bad for the indies? I don't think so. That puts more exposure on your product. Hey.
Doing it for the exposure.
Yeah, they're doing it for the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I completely understand people have mixed feelings about Ronda, and that's understandable. With wrestling, it's tough to try to separate watching. I think you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and it's very understandable that people are skeptical and have no interest in it. That is very valid. So
she thought the crowds at the WWE were mean. Just wait to some of these independent shows with some of these clowns.
Yeah, so how long till we see Ronda in a GCW ring?
Oh man, give it to me. She would. If you wanted to try to top the Cardona GCW run in terms of just heat for being hated, there it is. They're not going to take to her at all.
Mm-mm.
So, but I'm here for it. So if she's down to do her heel era, I'm in.
Who is the most over babyface in GCW?
Bussy?
You think so?
They got to be up there, right?
Then let's run an.
I guess is Nick Gage technically a babyface right now? Does that count? Because they love him a lot.
I'm trying to envision, like I could see an Effie Ronda match, but I'm trying to like picture a Nick Gage and Ronda match.
Oh man,
and I just can't. But
Maki Ito,
yeah,
she's pretty over right now in GCW. Jimmy Lloyd gets a huge pop as well. I mean,
find your most over babyface and have Ronda out there and
have Ronda align with Cardona and stuff to land her and just blow up the internet. She just shows up with them one day. He's like, I got me a third. Who's the third man?
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey comes out and
but which side is she on?
She's on Cardona's side, and then everybody throws garbage.
It's the NWO all over again.
Oh man! And then Blake Christian joins them, and that's just a nuclear power plant. I love it.
Few more for you. Flip Gordon had his final independent match. didn't say where he was going. Said he's got something, but he can't talk about it. Which, from the Observer, they said usually means he's going to WWE, but who knows?
Flip Gordon, huh?
Yeah. So the not flat Earth Flip Gordon.
There's two Flip Gordons.
Well, for the longest time, it was that he was a flat earther, and then he went out and said, "No, it's just a gimmick."
Yeah. That's why I was like, "Are we?" Because I remember, like, when I first started diving into, like, when I started doing the whole wrestling thing, like, exclusively, like I do now, like, I always thought Flip Gordon was really good early on, and then all of a sudden he kind of went crazy, and then he's dialed it back. I was like, no, it's just a gimmick. And people kind of soured on him, but I don't know. We'll see where he ends up. There was always rumor he was going to go to AEW and rejoin his boys in the Elite, but
kind of glad he didn't.
Yeah. That's what I don't know.
Sarai, the former Sarai from NXT, has signed a multi-year deal with Sukaban, the Joshi Pro that's running shows. They got an upcoming one in December in Miami.
All right.
Yeah. We talked about Alex Hammerstone. We talked about Erez and Aramis. And I think that is everything. I don't know why I took a screenshot of that part, but yeah. Because when I grab tidbits, I just take screenshots of everything. And then I'm like, then I just rattle those off. So I think that is everything. Just double checking. Yeah. So that's it for tidbits. Scorpio's coming up here to do some shows coming up. So that's exciting in Ontario.
Too Cold Scorpio.
Ooh, one more for you. Grizzled Young Vets are working House of Glory beginning of December. That's the same show as Cardona versus Mike Santana and Swerve Strickland versus Mike Bailey.
Yeah, we had talked about the Strickland Mike Bailey match on another tidbit section. So
yes.
Okay.
So that show's
looking good.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid show.
Top to bottom, and they haven't even filled out the whole card yet. So hell yeah, independent wrestling is on fire right now. It's in another one of those. It's like you can go down any card and find a banger, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love it.
Like when we were kind of talking about this week, like there is so much this week that we can't preview everything because I have 3 shows here to talk about. Then there's also a Defy show. There is the GCW show at the end of the week. There's, I think, 2 other ones. It's like this is a stacked week of shows.
Man, you said there was Revolvers this week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good.
I'm here.
That's what I love about it. More stuff for us to watch. More reasons for Business Pluggo to be like, what are you watching?
Yeah.
It's fun. We didn't talk too much about it. My favorite tidbit of the week was that Sean Ross Sapp is wrestling in a match at his first match in 6 years against Shaza McKenzie at Black Label Pro in a couple weeks. Like, what?
And that it kind of threw the internet up in arms that Sean Ross Sapp is wrestling a match, and it's not that big of a deal.
It's pretty awesome. I should make my way out there.
Yeah, I think you should. What's stopping you?
I don't know. Just money. My hair. What is this, dude? What is that? What is going on right here? That's like that Chris Klein from American Pie thing, where he always had the one because he was like the sweet heart, heartthrob. That's probably not the reference you were hoping to have today, but yeah. Remember he had the hair that went like this in American Pie, but then he always had the one that just fell.
Whenever I think of that movie and Chris Klein, I think of Not Another Teen Movie, which spoofed it because like there's the character who spoofs Chris Klein.
Yeah.
And there's the one scene which is like a ripoff of The Breakfast Club where the kids mouthing off, getting detention, and Chris Klein's character turns back and he goes, "Come on, man!"
Oh, yes.
Or they're climbing through the vents to escape the detention.
Oh,
the 2 guys are in front of him, and he's behind. He goes, "Guys, look, a buffalo nickel."
That movie was ridiculous.
So make sure you tune into For Exposure, where we quote early 2000s teen raunchy comedies.
Speaking of raunchy comedies, I watched last night for the first time in a little while Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Yeah. Big Kevin Smith fan over here. And I was like, I haven't seen this movie in years. It definitely did not age well.
No.
I'll say that.
Is that the one with Morris Day and the Time in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Morris Day and the Time rule. My jungle love. Oh, we, oh, we, oh.
You want to talk some prestige first?
Some wrestling? Should we talk some actual wrestling?
Oh, hello,
Bryce, what's good? Welcome in.
I'm going to see Bryce at a show this week coming up. So.
Ooh, what show is that?
The CWE Rumble to Remember, featuring Ultimo Dragon.
Ooh, again, the Ultimo Dragon. I think you have a thing for the Ultimo Dragon.
Me and Ultimo are just best friends at this point. Ooh. He's my third best friend. He goes, you, Tom Lawler, Ultimo Dragon.
Heck yeah. I'm glad it's me. Yeah. But right on. Speaking of best friends, Bryce, everybody, if you're in the chat, smash that like button. We want to get to 5 likes on the stream. We're at 3 right now. What's up with that? We need 2 of you, just 2 of you, to say we like you.
Maybe we'll do 2 shows.
Because then we get to 10, and then we'll get to 20, then we'll get to 30. Then the algorithm will be like, we like these guys. Push us to the top of the card.
Push it real good.
You know what? Every time I hear that song, you know what movie I think of? Grandma's Boy. Yep. I want to sing.
High score. What's that mean? Did I break it?
Is that good?
Did I break it?
Joke's on you. We don't have Dance Dance Revolution. Oh, well, I guess my days here at Brainasium are numbered. Okay. I could quote that movie all day too.
I love that movie. I remember seeing that in the theaters. There was like 3 people there. It was great.
Be quiet. My roommates are sleeping. You mean your parents?
Yeah, I'm thinking get a CB radio for my bed. Talk to other car beds.
Maybe some rims.
Hey, okay. Ray's hooking us up with the like. Thanks, Ray.
Ray, you the man. Thank you. We're getting there. That's what we're trying to do here. Love Wrestling. We're trying to get them numbers up so we can all do more fun stuff. So I can ultimately quit my job and just talk about wrestling 24/7.
Yes. Okay. Prestige is running November 12th. That's this Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Is Prestige on IWTV or is that Fight?
IWTV, if I'm not mistaken. I can double check, but I'm usually they run it on IWTV live, and then they put it up there a couple days.
And
later.
Wrestling Revolver runs on Fight.
Wrestling Revolver is on Fight. GCW is on Fight. JCW will be on YouTube. Gotcha.
We'll talk about that, sure.
Gotcha.
So I'll run down the card, then we can drop some thoughts about it because there's a few matches on here with a lot of potential. Flaming Aces versus the Hammer Brothers. Hammer Bros have been ripping it up in the Pacific Northwest. We got Chris Brady versus Drake Kwan. Brothers Divine versus Midnight Heat. Vinny Massaro versus Daniel Maccabee. C420, which is Sonico and C4. Cody Chun and Guillermo Rosas versus Sinner, Saint, and Alan Angels.
Ooh, wait, stop. Full stop. Yeah. That's a team, man.
Oh, yeah.
Sinner, Saint, Alan Angels. Jesus Christ. I love that. I'm excited for that.
We got Jaden versus Evan Rivers versus Randy Myers. Nice. Sebastian Wolf versus Jordan Cruz.
Oh, I love me some Sebastian Wolf.
And originally it was supposed to be Amira facing off with Liza Hall. Liza Hall cannot make the show. So as a replacement, we are getting Amira versus Rose.
Oh, nice.
So that's a huge opportunity for Rose. Very stoked for her. We saw her at LPW 20 last month. Facing off with
Plug it. Don't be humble.
Facing off against Lisa Sparks. And she was on this past week's episode of the Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. So.
Which was an awesome listen. Go listen. I know you weren't going to do it because you're a humble guy, but that was an awesome interview.
Okay. So this card, there's at least 4-5 matches that I'm tuning in for.
Mm-hmm.
Massaro versus Maccabee is going to be huge because Massaro's about to be doing some training over in Japan coming up. So we got that. Amira versus Rose is going to be solid. Amira's great. Rose is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Cruz versus Sebastian Wolf. Talk about 2 big dudes just beating the crap out of each other. Because Jordan Cruz is no slouch. He's jacked up. Sebastian Wolf, he was on this past week's ROH tapings.
Yes, he was.
I mean, that right there, making a huge name for himself. Randy Myers, Evan Rivers versus Jaden. I haven't seen too much of Jaden, but Randy Myers he's almost a legend at this point, and Evan Rivers, one third of Sovereign with Sinner and Sate. I mean, he's going to be at LPW 21 next month as well, or this month. And
has that been announced?
Yes, because it's a scramble match.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, are you blowing announcements?
I hope not. No, that was the scramble match.
I almost did that once with
Rich King, Jack Pride, Tara Zepp, Evan Rivers, and I'm forgetting the last name, which I'll think about. So, what do you think about this card?
I like it. Sounds like a lot of interesting matchups. Like I had a full shoot. I didn't even look at the card before the show. I was waiting for you to just run it down because I had forgotten to look at the prestige card, even though I put it in the preview. That's what I do. But no, I'm super excited. I love a lot of these people. Like you said, I'm psyched for Sebastian Wolf. I mean, he's been on a tear ever since he got beat by our wily veteran Jared Rogers. And I'm stoked for Rose to get that spot. Like you said, that's really cool. And I'm so interested in Sinner and Saint and Allen Angels as a team. That just doesn't feel. I feel bad for their opponents.
Yeah,
they're gonna get stretched. It's gonna hurt.
The chemistry those three have, and I mean, even just Sinner and Saint, the chemistry those two have. I mean, talk about about to break through to the next level.
Yeah, they're close.
Yeah, they've been on ROH. They've been on Collision. They've wrestled up and down through Canada, the States. I mean, from coast to coast, those two have been ripping it up. They've both wrestled in LPW. I mean, this is incredible opportunities for these guys.
Like, I don't want to say this in a negative sense, and I don't mean it. Like, I don't know how much longer Travis Williams will be challenge champion because I think he's going to get signed soon.
Yeah. I
just do. I think some company is going to be like, these guys could make us a lot of money, and they're going to, because they're wrestling like you said, they're on a run right now.
You have former Impact, former TNA champion Josh Alexander hyping these two up as put some eyes on these guys. You have Alex Shelley saying the same thing. I mean, real recognizes real, and when it comes to Sinner and Saint, it's only a matter of time. Like, if I'm Impact, I'm grabbing both these guys right away.
And putting them in your tag division to start.
Yeah.
Bryce, real recognizes real with Bryce. Grainmaker! Sorry.
Thanks, buddy.
You can clip that and use it if you want. No.
Thanks, Bryce. That's going to be the new intro song. The other member of the other competitor in the challenge, the scramble match is Tony Baroni.
That's right. Okay. Yes. I should know that. Tony Baroni's back. That's going to be a fun little scramble, man.
It is. There's so many different styles, moving parts in this one. I like this one. And we've talked about the scramble matches. There's so much action involved with them.
Yeah.
So this one should be a doozy.
Jack Pride just beating everybody.
Yeah. Pride's on a roll. So I think that prestige card, it's going to be solid.
And that is Sunday it's West Coast time, probably.
Yeah. So I'll probably be asleep by the time it airs, and I'll watch it on Monday.
Yeah.
If it's up. But
usually they run their Sunday shows a little earlier than the 7:00 start, which would be 10:00 my time.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as long as it's not too late, I'll check it out. But
yeah.
I would talk more about Rose, but go check out the podcast because she talks all about it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. The year she's had, the things she's experienced. I mean, go give it a listen.
Blair mentioned my name in the podcast. So there you go. I'm part of it.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Check it out up on IWTV. Don't miss it. If you do not subscribe to IWTV, if you're like, hey, I'm just in to win, give me the free stuff, Jersey Championship Wrestling is going to be airing a show Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern. So
on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
That's where we're at right now.
Yes. So same thing. You want me to run through the card, and
let's do it.
Tell me what you're jacked up for.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip.
We've got Matt Makowski versus Clark Connors.
Ooh.
Bullet Club War Dogs versus the Rejects. Charles Mason with Pero versus Janai Kai. Bang & Matthews versus Wasted Youth. Lee Moriarty versus Man Like Doris.
What?
Yeah, Billy Starks and Mike Bailey. And we got the JCW Championship, one called Manders, challenging Jordan Oliver.
Wow. That's free.
What's wetting your whistle on this one?
I'm really starting to enjoy the one called Doris. So him taking on Moriarty, I'm interested to see how that goes. I saw Doris. Is this his stateside run? Because he's from Germany, right? If I'm not mistaken, because he was on the GCW Germany shows. Mm-hmm. Billy Starks and Mike Bailey, of course. That's always gonna. But that tag match, the formerly known as the Bang Bros versus Wasted Youth, is gonna be a good little sprint. I think they're gonna pull out some stuff.
Yeah, that's
going to be fun.
Banger alert.
Woo, woo, woo.
They've written all over it, so
there it is.
That's going to be fun.
How did you feel about us stealing the Banger Alert gimmick on Thursday?
Buddy, you can rock it whenever you want.
JP, I was like, JPJ, you got to do you got to do the woo woo part.
Now, here's the question: who do you like doing it more with?
Oh, of course, it's originated here, but JPJ is awesome, dude. Don't do that. We're gonna have beef. He's gonna watch this and be like, "That was
just putting you on the spot."
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Damn you, Pluggo." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." No,
I had to say it.
He gives me shit about it because he was the one that started it with the comment.
Yeah.
So he actually has staked claim to the originator of it, and we just ran with it. So if you think about it, it's all ours.
It is.
It's all three of ours.
And really, that's what wrestling is all about, just coming together, making viral clips, having fun.
That's right.
So hell yeah.
But no, that's a fun little card, like top to bottom. And then of course, I mean, I'm kind of glossing over him, but Jordan Oliver's been on a run. We know how we hit. Everybody that's ever watched For Exposure knows how we feel about Jordan Oliver. So that'll be a fun match, of course.
Talk about getting slept on. I mean, Jordan Oliver doesn't get the love and respect he deserves when it comes to independent wrestling. Dude has put on banger matches this past year, whether it was East West Express, running the Jersey Championship Wrestling heavyweight matches. He's been everywhere. I mean, he wrestled up in IWS. He's wrestled in Toronto. I mean, wrestled out west. He's been all over Canada, continues to put on banger matches in the States, and he's going to be based out of Europe for the beginning of next year. So, I mean, dude's just on it, just crushing it.
Do you think does he drop the JCW championship to Manders because he's going to be based out of Europe next year?
Maybe. You never know.
Interesting.
I mean, how would you feel about Manders as the JCW?
I'd be okay with that. I like Manders.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I really am into that Billy Starks Mike Bailey match.
Yeah.
Huge opportunity for Starks. Mike Bailey, I mean, put him up there for Wrestler of the Year with the year he's had. So, I mean,
yeah,
that's what I want to see on an independent match. This is great stuff.
Yeah. And it's free.
So
if you're sitting here and you're watching this show and you don't watch a lot of independent wrestling, you're like, where should I start? Start with it because it's free. And if you tend to like some of these people, then maybe go get some of these other streaming services that Blair and I pay for because we're into it. But if you're just getting into it, this is a great way to get into it.
Mm-hmm. That Lee Moriarty match should be good too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, another show, 4 matches right off the top that I'm like, yeah, I want to check that out. So my Sunday's booked up.
Yeah, that's right. Mrs. Grainmaker. Sorry.
Gonna grab a Slurpee and just watch wrestling.
A Slurpee? What kind of Slurpee?
I usually get a mix. Usually Pepsi, maybe grape or another fruity type flavor, but nothing too overpowerful. I don't want orange. Grape is a good one. I'll do grape. Sometimes if there's cherry Coke, I'll get that in there, and then Pepsi or Coke on top of that.
Okay, so you spend meticulously putting these things on there at the 7-Eleven. You just drive people crazy. Like, come on, man, fill up your Slurpee. Let's go.
It doesn't take long to fill up a Slurpee cup. And it's not like I'm doing like an inch of each flavor.
I can't remember the last time I bought a Slurpee. It's been a long time.
Do it today. Take Mrs. Pluggo and go grab a Slurpee. Okay. Like, have a little like date.
Okay. Listen, honey, close your eyes. A blindfolder. Make it a big deal.
Go get a Slurpee. Go for a little walk. I bet you Mrs. Pluggo would be into it.
Maybe. If she's awake, she might fall back asleep.
Just have a little bit of you guys' time.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
The kids are self-sufficient at this point. They can watch over themselves.
That actually is kind of nice. I'm at the point where, like, even the youngest, even though he's a savage, I can, like, keep him entertained if I need to do something around the house. I don't have to be on his ass the whole time, which is nice.
When you say savage, do you mean like Randy?
I mean, like, I'm surprised our house is still standing savage. But yeah, he is Macho Man, Randy. He, remember the Ultimate Warrior used to do the...
Yeah.
That's him all the time.
I'm envisioning him dressed up like a little macho man just walking around the house.
That would be fun. I have this shirt that they got me one year for Father's Day that says, like, it has Ric Flair, Ultimate Warrior, and Macho Man on it. And it, like, style like Flair, blah, 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 things like that. My dad has. And I used to teach him what it was. And I'd go, who's this guy? And he'd go, woo! For Flair, and I go, who's this guy? And he go, oh yeah. And then I'd go for Ultimate Warrior, because I don't think he had like a really catchy catchphrase. I said, oh, who's this guy? And he would just go, mm-hmm. So he knows his stuff. He's a wrestling guy. He's a fan.
I like that.
He knows who Pizza Cat Jr. is, which either means he pays too much attention to what I watch or I watch too much wrestling.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm watching tomorrow, he'll be like, Dad, is that Pizza Cat Jr.? And I'm like, no, but you're not wrong.
Okay, so there is a promotion based out of North Carolina called Deadlock Pro Wrestling, and they put on some fantastic cards. You can stream them up on their website. It does cost money. I think it's like $18 for the month. You get access to all their past shows, all of that sort of fun stuff. And they have deals if you do a streaming, like a yearly thing or whatever. So like there is cheap options on there. But they have a solid card this week, and I figure we should talk about that because, I mean, they're consistently putting on great cards. Pardon me. So Jay Malachi is their champion right now. He is getting some looks from WWE about possibly joining up NXT Performance Center. Mm-hmm. So he's facing off with Alec Price for the Deadlock Pro World Title.
Very cool.
I'll run through everything and then we can.
We like ourselves some Alec Price here.
Yeah. There's an I Quit match between Kobe Carino and Lucky Ali. The DPW World Tag Team titles are up for grabs with the Workhorsemen, who are the challengers, taking on the Grizzled Young Vets. We have Emi Sakura defending the DPW Women's World Championship against Masha Slamovich.
Ooh,
6-man tag team match with Filthy Tom Lawler and the West Coast Wrecking Crew facing off against Calvin Tankman, Brian Keith, and Masato Tanaka. Chris Danger is in action, and there's a 3-way match with LeBron Cozone, Balian Aki, and Jake Something. So this is a pretty solid card. Like, you are getting your money's worth with it when you look at what it costs to rent, a pay-per-view on Fight Plus or anything like that. The fact that you're getting a Workhorseman versus Grizzled Young Vets match, that right there is enough for me to go out of my way and pay the $18. That's a solid match right there.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a good time. Jeez, that card is good. I love me some Emi Sakura and Masha Slamovich, so I'm excited for that.
Like, I'm sure those two have faced off somewhere before, but I mean, with this dynamic, the title on the line adds another wrinkle to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Emi Sakura is great.
And that's tonight?
That's on the 12th as well.
Oh, so Sunday is just jacked. Independent wrestling takes on the NFL.
Like, I know what I'll be watching. It ain't going to be throw ball. It's going to be wrestling.
Ain't going to be throw ball.
You like that?
You're such a Canadian.
I know. CFL playoffs this weekend. Bombers are in action today.
Do they start this weekend, or is this?
No, they started last weekend. This is the semifinals, so the Western and Eastern semifinals this week.
So next weekend on the For Exposure LPW 21 preview show, I'll have you and Boris give me the CFL scoops.
Yes, we can talk some.
He came on at the beginning of the season and gave us like a 10-minute like breakdown of the CFL and what to expect, and it was impromptu. We didn't know what was happening, and he was like, "I'm here because the season starts tonight."
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you guys, we were like, okay, because I have no idea what goes on in the CFL.
Like the Bombers are playing the BC Lions today, so it's a big game for the Bombers. They had a hell of a year. I think Bryce will be there if I'm not mistaken. He can let me know. But yeah, that takes place this evening, like 5 p.m. And it's kind of funny because there's also a Winnipeg Jets hockey game in the afternoon. So I'm fully imagining the Winnipeg Arena to be half empty by the end of the game because everybody will be going to the Bomber game.
Interesting. And then Lawrence says, "Go Alouettes."
Yes.
There was one team, There was one team that I thought was funny good name, but I can't remember what they were called now. But I'm trying to think. Roughnecks.
Oh,
Rough Riders, DMX style.
Okay, there's the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. There used to be the Ottawa Rough Riders as well, because why not have two teams with the same?
The Saskatchewan Rough Riders. That's my squad, I guess. I don't know. I've never watched.
Then Ottawa eventually became the Renegades. So, and then the Red Blacks.
I will say our numbers in the corner just jumped up a couple of viewers because we started talking CFL football. Maybe we've missed the mark. Maybe For Exposure needs to be a CFL program from now on.
There is still time that we can do that. Just saying.
But no, this Deadlock Pro, that's a good show, man. Then a CFL, it sounds like a busy weekend in wrestling and football and all over the world.
We're close to wrapping up, but I feel like we don't have to run through the full Defy card, but we should bring to light one of the matches that is happening next weekend. And that is the team of Sovereign, which we have talked about before, Evan Rivers, Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams. And they are facing off against the team of Artemis Spencer, Mike Bailey, and gang-affiliated MDK Nick Gage.
What a team. What a team.
Like,
that's interesting. I like that.
I am going to watch this so hard when it drops Thursday on Remix, the Defy streaming, just because of that match.
Oh, yeah.
That's an incredible match. That's exactly what I talk about when it's like just Nick Gage against these people. Like, yeah, I want to see Nick Gage and Judas Icarus go at it.
I'm always Nick Gage. I'm always pro Nick Gage versus anybody just out of intrigue alone. Mm-hmm. Like when it's like Vikingo, Nick Gage. What?
It's like, hell yeah.
Okay. That doesn't compute in my brain, but let me watch it. So that's just one of those where it's like, all right. Go Nick Gage.
Dude, our numbers dropped down, so we got to go back to CFL talk.
I know they dropped down. So listen, Canadian football. The field's different, huh?
Yeah, so the field is a little bit longer. The balls are bigger. They even had a saying, our balls are bigger, in the mid-90s when they were trying to promote CFL football.
Yeah.
Because they actually had expansion down into the States. I don't know if you knew about that.
I didn't know about that.
Yes. Baltimore had a team. San Antonio, Sacramento, Shreveport.
That's weird. Shreveport,
Birmingham.
Iowa, Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham's a big football town.
The Birmingham Barracudas.
Birmingham, Alabama. That's where the old Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Hook 'em horns.
I mean, I would say that there's football on today for me. I don't know if Notre Dame plays or not, but since they've lost last week, I'm kind of like disappointed in them. So I don't know if I will even watch. We've lost 3 games this year that we shouldn't have. Balls are bigger. Somehow Tom Brady's saying, hold my beer. And then Bebe's in the house saying that he used to live near Shreveport. Really, Canadian football was in Shreveport. Weird, yeah.
It was for, I don't know how long Shreveport had a team, at least one season. And the Shreveport Pirates. This was in the mid-90s.
It probably just didn't work out because of the crossing over and expenses for past things.
There is video up there of the anthem singer trying to sing the Canadian national anthem and turning it in. I think they do it in like the cadence of like "Oh Christmas Tree."
Yes.
So that's what you can look for with it.
That's awesome. Canadian football.
So maybe next weekend when we do the LPW preview show on Sunday, we'll make sure we tell you what time. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more CFL then. Why not?
The championship, the Grey Cup.
No, that's in a few weeks still.
Oh, but that's what it's called, right?
It is.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A super fan.
No, because of how I met your mother. The Grey Cup incident.
Didn't see that episode. I checked out like halfway. I got bored.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Hey now.
It's no Friends.
It's true. That is
where they don't do blow.
MDMA.
They do MDMA.
MDMA.
Ross loves MDMA.
Ross is just tweaking thinking about it. Oh God.
So
you got anything else, my friend?
That's it for the week.
It's a good week. That's a lot we packed into our little hour here.
Yeah, that Defy show is stacked up too. Like Kenta versus Joey Janela, Gringo Loco's on there. Alley Catch versus Vert Vixen, Bollywood Boys versus Curryman and Effie.
Yeah, there you go.
I think a couple other matches too. Shaft versus Jordan Oliver. So it's a solid card. So definitely check that out. So but for myself, because we will be wrapping it up, you can find me every week here with you doing For Exposure, where we take a look at the world of independent wrestling. You can follow me on all social media at Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. I don't have TikTok though, so don't look for me on there. And I dropped a podcast this past week with Rose. Go give that a listen because Rose fucking rules.
Yes, she does.
And she's wrestling on the Prestige show this weekend. So why wouldn't you want to go listen to it? Go check it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you?
What about me, Blair? What about me? I don't know.
What do you got on the go? Where can people find you?
I don't know what I got going on. I did
your Riz, my dude.
I did this on Thursday and like missed a bunch of stuff, but you can find me at Pluggo_ on Twitter, at Pluggo Loves Wrestling on all other social media websites, including Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Go check it out there. Thursday nights with JPJ. We got a big one. We haven't quite announced it yet. I'm going to probably announce it later today. So go to the B2 Beards social media pages, which is again B2 Beards on all social medias, and I will drop that probably later today. It's a good one. It's going to be a big one on Thursday. And then if she's still doing it, that's confirmed. I will be hanging out with Miss Kate this weekend, either tonight or tomorrow, watching the New Japan Strong show.
Nice.
It's going to be Lone Star. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, from last night.
So from last night? It was last night? Yeah, so she's going to watch it tonight, I believe.
Okay.
So nice. I'm going to hang out with her and watch it tonight. So.
Where can we see that? Because maybe I want to tune in and watch.
On Miss Kate Fabe's YouTube channel. So right here on YouTube, go to Miss Kate Fabe and subscribe. She's awesome. So
same sort of style as what we did last week. I'm
curious. Same style. We're just gonna hang out, watch the show. Other people are gonna be there. I'm not sure who else is coming in. I gotta maybe figure that out. I'll probably promote something. Maybe she's like, I don't want to do it. The reason she's doing it tonight opposed to last night is because she works for Fightful and had to do the SmackDown and Rampage reacts and stuff. So
cool.
We're gonna hang out, watch the professional wrestling. So all right. Awesome. And then I got an interview, like I said earlier, with TFA over on the Love Wrestling Patreon. So go check that out.
Yeah, subscribe to that Patreon. Lots of great stuff up on there.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. I mean, there's great content up there. You're missing out.
That's right.
So cool. I think that's everything, my dude. Oh, I'm just going to check this last comment before we... Hey, you have a great weekend too. And hopefully I will see you next month at Time Bomb Pro. It's going to be a see how the weather is weekend, because I don't know if I want to make the 3-hour drive if the roads are bad. So it's not fun driving on icy roads.
Yes, Kate is great.
So I think that is going to cover everything on our end. From both of us, we hope you have a great weekend. Check out some of those shows, and definitely tune in next weekend for the LPW preview show, and let us know what you enjoyed from this past week, the matches that you enjoyed, the shows, all that fun stuff. If you went to a local show, hit us up, let us know, get more eyes on independent wrestling, because that's what we love. So from us, you have been consensually exposed here on For Exposure. Take care. Peace in the streets.